Pacific. When I had that light bulb moment in the VW camper van, it actually, I already from that moment planned to do the Pacific after the Atlantic. And it actually helped me get through the Atlantic, because when I was having a really tough time out there, I thought, well, at least I'm learning how not to row across an ocean. And that was why I wanted to carry on and do the Pacific, because the Atlantic was such a steep learning curve for me that it was really only afterwards that I was able to assimilate it and crystallise what the experience had meant to me, through writing the book and through talking about it and so on. So I thought, wow, I really have learned a lot here, and now I want to put that to the test. So I'm going to put myself back into that really challenging situation, and now that I know what I know, let's see how I get on out there. Is it possible for me ever to be happy on an ocean rowboat? And the row from here to Hawaii was a very big step in the right direction. I think the fact that I wasn't in a race made me a lot happier out there, because it meant I just wasn't the trouble with the Atlantic was that I was just competitive enough for it to really bug me that the other crews are going faster than me. I mean, of course they were going faster than me. They were crews of 2 and crews of 4. But it still bothered me, and it was a much nicer feeling just to be the only one out there. Also, the fact that I'd done it before gave me the confidence that I could do it again, even on the days when I was going, how the hell did I manage to do this before? I knew I had done it before, whereas on the Atlantic, I wasted a lot of energy asking myself, can I do this? Which was a really bad question to ask, because there was no evidence one way or the other. It wasn't something I'd ever done before. So when I'm asking that question, can I do this? That when those negative little voices in my head would come back and say, no, you have no evidence that you can do this. And in the end I realised that I just had to carry on doing it. That was the only way to find out the answer. The other big difference on the Pacific was that I've discovered the joy of audiobooks. I decided I had done more than enough thinking on the Atlantic. 103 days of just contemplating the meaning of life, the universe and everything was really more than enough. So now I like a little bit more sensory input, and the audiobooks really help pass the time. I've listened to, over the last 2 stages of the Pacific, I've listened to about 150 books. So that's great. Just one more question? All right, 2 more, because I want to let this lady.
This is a quick one. Before you ever set off rowing, how did you deal with the naysayers who, I'm assuming, were in your life saying, you shouldn't do it, you can't do it, please don't do it?
You know what, I sort of wish there had been more naysayers. I don't know what they were saying behind my back, but to my face, very few people said to me, what are you thinking? I think if they had have done that, it would actually have strengthened my resolve. But it was only afterwards that a couple of friends told me that they'd thought I'd lost the plot when when I announced that I was going to do this thing. So no, unfortunately there was no sort of grist to the mill. They didn't really say it to my face. But I think you can take that kind of negativity, you can take it and turn it into a positive. I mean, when I was out there on the ocean, I was just struggling all the time, trying to motivate myself, just whatever it took, whether it was fear of failure or just whatever I could think of that would help get me back out onto that rowing seat, I would happily use it. And I think fear of failure is as valid a motivation as anything. Okay.
What about sleeping? How did you control the boat?
I don't really control the boat while I sleep. The course that I was taking is to take advantage of the winds and the currents. So the prevailing wind was taking me the right way. So in fact I could make some useful miles overnight. I think my best overnight mileage was about 11 miles. And that's quite a nice little bonus to wake up to in the morning. Initially actually I kept my sleeps really short. I was rowing the way that crews of 2 would do, which is 2 hours on, 2 hours off. But I was finding it so hard to get out of my sleeping bag at 3 a.m. to go and row in the darkness and the rain. And eventually I went, well, why am I doing this? I'm the only person on the boat. So, and I haven't seen another vessel for 2 months now. I think I'm confident enough that I'm not going to get run over in the middle of the night. So after that, I concentrated my hours of rowing during the daylight. I would start about an hour and a half before sunrise, do 3 hours on, 1 hour off throughout the day, and finish a bit after sunset. And then I'd have a clear, like 6 or 7 hours to get some sleep overnight, and that just seems to work better. And there are some mornings when you wake up and you go, gone the wrong way. The wind might have changed during the night and blown me backwards a bit, but it doesn't happen too often. And now I just go, oh well, bummer. Better get rowing. Thank you all very much for listening.